Hello. Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 3 of the Bit Escalated. Today, we are talking all about gooning, flossing, and mortality. The three typically go hand in hand. I know it's pretty common that you hear about those three. So I can't wait to dive in, and we'll see kind of like where we go with those three really heavy hitting topics. How are you guys? It's been a week since we last talked. A lot has happened in my life. And, you know, we're living, we're laughing, we're loving. We are breathing air. And somehow we are going to get there. That's my life motto. Thank you, iCarly, for that. Really, really helped me, you know, learn how to live life, if you know what I mean. But yeah, what have I been up to? Let's see, this week. So much, but also so little. I honestly haven't done that much stuff IRL. I went to the OBGYN. So that's awesome. Good for me. Woo. Round of applause for me. What an opening. We are 2 seconds in and I'm already talking about the OBGYN. That's the podcast you're listening to, by the way. I'm sure you already know. If you don't, welcome. Welcome. Expect this to happen again. So I went to the OBGYN. Everything is spick and span. It was a great experience, by the way. Super awesome. Lovely people. It was super cool, super fun. What else did I do? I got a new therapist. I'll talk about that later into the episode for sure. So stick around if you want to hear about my new therapist because he is awesome. Awesome socks. Is that a word? Awesome sauce. That was the word, not socks. I'm sure he has awesome socks too. I don't know. Haven't seen his feet. That would be a little weird. But yeah, got a new therapist. Went to the OB. Went to the dentist for the first time in years. Lovely dentist experience. I got a new toothbrush, got a new flossing routine, which is weirdly enough not the flossing that I mentioned at the start of the episode. But hey, you know, the duality of flossing, if you will. We're all about the duality of everything in life. So got a new toothbrush, got a new flossing routine. She told me mouthwash, bogus. I didn't know that. I thought mouthwash was still good for your oral hygiene. She says bogus. She says it's only good to make your mouth smell good. Has no other benefits. And I was like, no way. She blew my mind. Nicest lady I've ever seen in my life. Nicest lady I've ever met. Nicest lady to have ever handled my teeth before. Great experience. She also told me that I looked like I was 18 years old. And I said, ma'am, oh ma'am, I am 27. And she was floored. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I guess my skin looks good. And she goes, yeah, your skin looks really good. And I was like, oh, okay. Thank you so much. Awesome. Yay. Good for me. Because the older I get, the better I'm going to look. I'm going to age like a fine wine, you know, as they say. But I also don't want to look like an 18-year-old. But that's just me, you know, to each their own. So lovely time with the dentist, lovely time with the OB, lovely time with my therapist. We are just living up life. We are adulting to the max. Adult maxing, if you will. So yeah, I don't know. My week's been eventful, but also full of just boring adulting stuff. But we are living. We are fucking popping our pussies out here, and we're doing a damn good job of it. So that's happening. Goonmaxxing is always happening. Just as an FYI, as an alert to the presses, my life is always filled with Goonmaxxing. If you don't know what Goonmaxxing is, Google it right now. Google it right now. Highly recommend that you study up on what Goonmaxxing is. Now, when I talk about Goonmaxxing, do I mean literal Goonmaxxing? No, because I wouldn't be on camera right now if that were the case. But what I mean is I am a grade A, 100% purebred simp for fictional characters, for actors, for, celebrities, for people IRL in my life. And that is kind of my brand. That is my MO. I am a simp. I am a goon maxer. I'm a gooner. And it's what I embody. It's my religion, if you will. And, you might be asking, hey, how does one goon? How does one goon max? It's just living and dying by, yearning so hard for people and things, right? And I'm a yearner. Like it goes, the Great Gatsby, whatever his name is. I don't know his first name. Gatsby, right? Number one yearner. Me, beneath that. And then Franz Kafka, big yearner. And it's just the list goes on and on, but I am definitely number 2. I'm getting pretty close to Gatsby. I'm not as rich as him though, so unfortunately my yearning is more of like a poor writer, right? Like a penniless writer type of level of yearning. And he is like, hey, I'm a rich sugar daddy level of yearner, and I will treat you the way you deserve to be treated monetarily and also like emotionally. And I unfortunately don't have the monetary version of that, but I am like ride or die, bitch. Like if I yearn for you, if I'm goonmaxing for you, if I'm gooning or simping for you, I will lay down my body on a railroad track for you. You can step over me to get over the railroad track. That's the type of like yearning that the level I'm on. I might be short, but I'm on a high level of yearning. So that is what goonmaxing is. I highly recommend that everyone, participates in the religion or philosophy of goonmaxing or yearning or simping to some degree. I think it's really healthy for people to experience once in their life, maybe all the time, because that's how it is for me. It does kind of consume my mind. That's why last episode, Nosferatu, he's a yearner, right? And like not for a romantic or loving kind of way, definitely for a physical appetite kind of way. But he's a yearner. He's one of my guys. He's one of us, right? He's part of the crew, the club, the secret alliance of yearners. And that's why I like him so much. I want to be him. I want to be with him. That type of sitch. So that is a simp. That is a gooner. That's a yearner. That's me. That's the air that I breathe. It's that easy. It's like oxygen now. So if we were to dive into, let's say, some of the people I simp for, or I goon max for. Number 1, so Nosferatu, yes. Number 1, now some of you who are familiar with me on the internet might already have an answer in mind. You're not wrong, but you're also not right. So if you know my streams and you know me through streaming, I love Master Chief. Love Master Chief. I can't play the Halo games because they scare the fuck out of me, but I don't know why I paused and almost didn't cuss on my own channel. Hey, what? I love Master Chief, but the Halo games scare the fuck out of me. Terrifying. First of all, super side tangent. The Arbiters, scary. The invisible Arbiters too, with the energy swords, terrifying. But then no one warned me for the Flood and I shit my pants. I can't do Halo. I can do Halo Infinite, though. I fucking popped my pussy on Halo Infinite, and I love snipers. I loved rank snipers. Catch me in the fucking rank snipers. I will 360 no-scope you any day. But actual Halo, terrifying. I can't do it. I wish with my whole soul I could do scary games. And you're saying to yourself right now, hey, Cass, Halo's not a scary game. And I have to tell you you're wrong. Because for me, terrifying. I can't do anything scary, anything jump scary at all. Can't do it. So anyways, love Master Chief though. Love him to death. Like best fictional character to me. But my real number one that has been around longer than Master Chief and is a real person is Adam Driver. I haven't mentioned him on the pod yet before. I am a crazy Adam Driver, like, simper. And a lot of people, when I've said this to them, they're like, Adam Driver, really? Like, okay, kind of, they've said, not me. They've been like, oh, he's kind of weird looking. He's got a big nose, whatever. He looks like strange. And I'm like, girl, hey, get the fuck out of here with the slander. Get out of here with the slander. Ridiculous. You can go over there. You're not welcome in my premises. For two, yeah, he has a unique face and it's beautiful. Like, Adam Driver is my Roman Coliseum. I think about him on a daily. Gorgeous man. I'm trying to go through all of his filmography at the moment. I think that's what it's called. No, that's different. Filmography. I'm working through all of that. I originally discovered him in the Star Wars series, obviously, but then I always forget the numbers. I want to say it's 65. Hold on. I got to look this up now. I think the movie's called 65. It's numbers. Adam Driver movies. 65. Okay, I got it right. Then I saw him in 65. If you haven't seen 65, could I tell you really what happens in the movie? No. Couldn't recollect that in the slightest, actually. All I know is that there's dinosaurs. And Adam Driver is a gorgeous, like, action-packed, action-filled, gorgeous man who grunts 95% of the movie. So if you are an Adam Driver simp like myself, go watch 65. I saw it in theaters with an ex. So I had to, like, closet a lot of my simping at the time. But yeah, highly recommend. Oh my God. If you like dinosaurs, good. It's a good dinosaur movie, I think. I couldn't tell you how good. What are the ratings on this movie? I couldn't tell you much about it. 35% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, that's a bad movie. Apparently it's a bad movie. I loved it for my own personal reasons, and that's okay. That's okay. So saw him in 65. I also recently saw him in the House of Gucci. I just got chills. I'm a weirdo. I'm a freak. Whew. Let me air out my Bowser t-shirt really quick. I recently watched the House of Gucci. I didn't know anything about the Gucci family at all. Like, literally knew nothing. And Gaga, like, oh my God. Like, I don't even have speechless for her performance. Love Gaga. Oh my God. The way that they played an Italian, Italian couple. Amazing. Loved it. I love Italian, like, stuff, right? Italian family, Italian culture. Love it. So they did a great job at that. But Gaga was great. She popped her pussy. She always does. Name a time she hasn't. I don't know. She's always doing it. She's pussy pop maxing. That's a hard word to say. That's not on me. That's just on the word. Pussy pop maxing. Yes, she's doing that. Try to say that 3 times fast. So, back to Adam Driver. Adam played the fucking main Gucci guy. I don't remember his name. I'm really bad with names. But he played the main Gucci guy. Gorgeous. My God, gorgeous. If you've seen the movie, there's a scene when they're, like, early on into dating and they go out on a lake. This is super random. They go out on a lake on a boat and it's, like, foggy. And she, like, gets down on her knees in the boat. And I fully thought that she was going to do something. She was going to do something. And I was like, oh, I'm just alone in my bedroom watching this movie. We're like 15 minutes in, girl. Okay. They just kissed. So it was great. It was beautiful. That's clearly what I thought that they were going to do. Obviously, great movie. He did a great job in it. I have to watch. He's in Ferrari too. Ferrari also as well, and I have to watch that. He's in a bunch of other stuff too. I love him to pieces. He is amazing. I love him in everything that he's in. Love him, especially when he's screaming and yelling. Him as Kylo Ren, which I haven't even touched on because it's been years since I've seen those movies. Him as Kylo Ren, him screaming and throwing a tantrum, hot. Is that super toxic of me to like? Abso-fucking-lutely. If you're my therapist, you're not listening to this right now. I hope to God you're not, for so many more reasons than just that. But like him screaming and yelling and being angry as Kylo Ren, oh my God. Gore. Makes me feel lots of things. So that's Adam Driver. Another person that I've been a fan of since high school, but then kind of like forgot about is Andrew Scott. And you might be asking, who the fuck is Andrew Scott? He was Moriarty in the Sherlock series with Benedict Cumberbatch. He was the evil guy. So cute. Love him to pieces. And then he also is in Fleabag, the show I mentioned last episode. He was in the show Fleabag. He was the priest in Fleabag. Great show, especially if you're a fan of Andrew Scott. Oh my God, the scene in the church, in the confessional pew, and the confessional thing. Wow. That was my first football. Whew, crazy. And then he was also recently in, is it called Glass Onion? I think it's the Glass Onion Knives Out series. No, wait, Glass Onion is the first name of the first one, I think. He's a part of it's a part of the Knives Out series. The mystery, crime, murder thingy. With Benoit Blanc, the fucking Creole, like the Cajun fucking James Bond guy. I forgot his name. I'm really bad with the names. But yeah, silly little fun little movie series. But he's in the newest one of that. And they give him an American accent. And my boy, Andrew Scott, is Irish. And I'm like, girl, how could you get rid of his beautiful Irish accent? Like, are you kidding me? Who wants to hear an American accent? Literally nobody. Name one person who wants to hear an American accent. I don't want to hear myself talk. Give us the Irish accents. Give us the British give us everything. Give us all the accents except for the American ones, because they suck. Like, you're just listening to Joe Bob down the street who lives in fucking Wisconsin. Who wants to hear that? Not me. So yeah, that's my Goonmaxxing side of myself that I just had to reveal to you. I am such a Goonmaxxer that I also made friendship bracelets with my friends a couple weeks ago. And I made a couple. I made an Unis Honest one, or a redacted one. I made an Eve one because I'm a huge fan of Ethan Nestor. Ethan, we could be best friends. Please notice my existence. I think we could be really cool best buds, but that's just me. Made an Eve bracelet. I think I made another one too, but I made my friends and I made a Goonmaxxing bracelet for myself. It literally just says Goonmaxxing. And I made an Edge-maxing bracelet for one of my other friends. And yeah, and so it's just, I'm living that life. That's just me. So that's my Goonmaxxing. But yeah, on to flossing. If you guys knew me in my real life, / you've kind of started to see, on the camera and like on stream and stuff, I am constantly emoting. All my friends have said this to me. I've noticed this only really recently, to be honest. I'm always emoting. I'm always using my hands. Unfortunately, I'm tied to this chair. I got the old ball and chain on me, so I can't fully bodily emote. But like when I'm out and about, walking around, like at work or like hanging out with friends and stuff, if I have full movement of my body, I am emoting to the max. I am, that little meme video GIF thing of the little jester guy and then the queen sitting in like the throne or something, and she's like, I think she's like clapping. This might just be a Mandela effect in my brain. She's like sitting in the throne, like clapping or just watching, and he's just like dancing around like a little goofy goober. That's me 24/7, whether or not there's a little princess watching me or not. I'm just a jester all the time. And so, yeah, a lot of my friends refer to me as the jester of the group, or even the Ethan Nestor of the group, which oddly rhymes. Didn't realize until just now. So I'm always emoting. And one of the emotes that I do a lot is I just start flossing out of nowhere. I'm not good at it. I'm really bad at flossing. And I improved though. I will say that I improved. And it started as an ironic thing. And then it just became like a stim. I don't know. It just became like a thing to do when I'm just like standing and waiting for things. I'll just start flossing. Or like if I'm just being a goofy guy, I'll just start flossing out of nowhere, whether or not anyone's paying attention or not. I just start doing that. And I'm like, dude, why does it have to be that? Why can't I have a cool dance move? Why can't I just like bust it down cool style? Why is that my only good dance move? And you also might be saying, hey, that's not a good dance move, whether or not you're good at it. And I have to say that's subjective. And perception is reality. And my reality tells me that it is a good dance move because it's the only one that I can do. So I have to be acceptive. Is that a word? I have to accept that. I have to accept that reality. Otherwise, I'll have zero good dance moves. And I can't be okay with that fact. Maybe I should take dance classes. Well, you guys maybe don't know this about me. I took ballet for 18 years of my life. So I've taken many like dance classes throughout the years. I just can't do freestyle dance. I am like, ballet turned me into a robot. I don't know how to do just dances, right? And I also, like, some of my friends invited me to a rave and I'm going to go, but I'm really nervous because I'm like, dude, I don't know how to dance. And luckily they're like, hey, no one's going to judge you. That's like the rule of raves is like, you can't judge people for like the way they're dancing and stuff. You just got to like, feel the music and have fun. And like, that's all it's about. And I'm like, okay, cool. I think I can be okay with that. I'm confident enough in myself now where I'm like, yeah, I can dance. I can fucking bust a move, right? Even if it's just ridiculous, like goofy goober type dancing. But I don't know. I'm just like, I'm just a robot. Like, that's my dancing. So I have to get better at that. And the flossing isn't helping because it's also a very rigid dance style. I think that's why it's easy for me is because it's like, it's 2 moves and it's so easy. And it's like, I can do it. It's back and forth. That's all I need to know. So if you have any recommendations of dance moves that I should learn, hey, your guy is all ears. Please let me know in the comments below what dance moves I should learn because I need to get better at something. I can also weirdly salsa. I think that's what it is. I can salsa pretty well because I can like move my hips pretty well. But besides the hips, hey, I got nothing. I also, speaking of hips, I've also recently been told by my friends in a loving way, not a like hateful way or negative way, because I would not be friends with them otherwise. I am very like assertive and confident in myself to like not let people be rude to me. But in a loving way, my friends recently have said that I have a twink body or the body of a twink. And as much as like cool, love that for me, I do still got hips, girl. Like I can move my hips around. I'm not saying twinks don't have hips. Most do, right? Because humans have hip bones. But I got like a hip ratio, girl. I got a waist to hip ratio that's kind of crazy, like out of this world, out of this orbit. And you just wouldn't know because I wear giant baggy clothing all the time because I'm a little guy in a twink body, apparently. So I don't know. That's my life. I'm a twink that Goonmaxxes and flosses all the time. But apparently not enough, according to my dentist. So I really have to start working on that. And my floss routine is it's getting better. It's getting better. I have flossed successfully almost every day since my dentist appointment. And, I think it's something that I can feasibly accomplish now. And I feel very adult for that, to be honest. I feel like, oh my God, I'm kind of popping my pussy at this adult thing recently. So I'm doing a good job there. Hey guys, Miko here. I'm today's sponsor. That's right, I'm my own sponsor. I stream over on Twitch as a VTuber where I play games, yap, do art and crochet, and a ton more. So if you want to catch one of my streams, check the links in the description below and come say hi. Okay, I had to take my jacket off because my guns just got too hot from the flossing and gooning talk. So I need to chill out now with the talk of mortality. Now, mortality. It's kind of everyone's favorite topic, obviously. I can't even joke. It's definitely a hard topic for a lot of people to talk about. A lot of people have a fear of death. Totally understandable. I used to as well. And I still am anxious about it for sure. But something really changed within me. What am I in Wicked now? Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. Anyways, something really changed in me when my mom died, and my view of death has changed significantly. And it's kind of wild the way that it's changed, because I feel like if someone were to tell me that, hey, my view of death changed after my mom died, I would think it was for the worse, and that they were more anxious about dying. And I know that is common to have happen, but my view of death has actually gotten so much better since my mom dying, and it's kind of nuts. So before my mom passed, roughly 3 years ago, I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. I was deathly afraid of dying. That's a funny, didn't even mean to do that. I was really scared of dying. And I, for some reason, thought, I just had this internal anxiety all the time about oh my God, you're going to die before you reach 30, which still could happen. I don't know. I'm not 30 yet. We'll see what happens. But my brain was you're going to die before you hit 30. So you have to get all this stuff done. You have to get married. You have to have kids. You have to have a great job. You have to have a house. And that could just be the pressures of being a 20-year-old and society and what it, deems as what you should be doing when you're in your 20s. It could have just been that pressure for sure. But there was wrapped up in that, there was this just internal anxiety about hey, it's not really because you're just not living to your fullest now. It's also because you're going to die. Your time is short. You're going to you're on a time crunch, girl. You're a ticking time bomb. You got to get this all done. And so I would frequently have anxiety attacks about that. And for the most part, also about my partner at the time. I would be oh my gosh, they're going to die and I'm going to be without them, right? The fear of loss and the fear of grieving somebody. And I was I don't think I'll have the strength to go through something like that. That would just be the worst thing that I could ever imagine going through, is losing your partner. And then when my mom passed, I saw that firsthand. I saw that with my dad and what he was going through, and also from what I was experiencing too. For those that don't know, I had still have a very complicated grieving process with my mom because of our strained and complicated relationship in my childhood. But I don't know. So that's its own thing. But yeah, seeing my experience with her death, and also my dad's experience with her death, and my sister's experience with her death, and everyone's experience, I think I was able to realize, oh shit, life still can go on. These things are going to happen. And in your life, bad things are going to happen in your life, but life still goes on. The sun still comes up in the morning and it still sets in the evening, and people still go about their day-to-day life. They go to work, they go home from work, they eat dinner, they eat breakfast. Things are still happening, and you have to learn how to live with the grief or the anxiety of death in general and still just live life. And on top of that, there's also the fact of when you pass, you also have to realize when you're gone, the same things are going to happen. Life is still going to go on. And it's just something that we all have to go through, and it's something we all have to kind of accept. I'm trying to find a quote that I came across the other day about life and death. Let's see if I saved it. That would be really awesome if I did, but something tells me I didn't. Okay, I found it. So it's by Marcus Aurelius, who's a really great philosopher in like Stoicism and stuff like that. And it says, death is not the enemy, a wasted life is. So we live all of this life, right? We're so focused on the future. We're so focused on what can I achieve next? What outcome can I get next? And then also we're so afraid of death at the end of the day. And it's like, so many people are too absorbed in that, in the ending of the story. And they aren't focused enough on the life that they're wasting in the meantime. Your life is precious. Your time here is precious. And you have to live to your fullest potential every day. And you have to achieve what you want. You have to be happy, right? And so I focused more on that than the end result. And so my brain has shifted really. And so honestly, I'm at the point now where, yeah, I'm scared of death still, because I think, it would be inhuman. I think, at least at this point in my life, I think it would be inhuman to be completely unafraid of death. Because it is wrapped up in the unknown. It is wrapped up in potential pain and suffering. So people don't want to go through that. People don't like pain, obviously. People don't like suffering. So I think it's only human to be afraid of that. But I think it's important that we focus on the here and now. And like, I'm at this point where I'm like, hey, if I die tomorrow, I'd be okay with that. Like, not like happy, but like, I'd be like, hey, I've lived a really good life. I'm really happy with everything that I've accomplished. Do I want to accomplish more? Do I want way more time here? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I'm like so content with what I have accomplished that like, hey, if I die tomorrow, that's in my mind what was meant to happen anyways. And it's so out of my control. There's no sense in worrying about it. And that's also a huge thing with Stoicism and the philosophy of Stoicism is that you have to learn to control your controllables, and what is out of your control, like, don't stress about. Don't even really think about it. Like, it's so out of your control that it's not in your box. It's not in your realm. So death is one of those things where it's like, it's so out of your control that you shouldn't spend time thinking about it. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my mentality and how it shifted. Another thing too is like a lot of people think that there's life after death. And I, for one, think that as mere humans, it is impossible for us to know the unknown. Like, as crazy as it is, like, there's been things in the past that have been unknown for sure that we have discovered and we've done research on. So I'm not saying that that's impossible, but like, for something like that, it's like, who are we to say at this moment without scientific research, true factual scientific research on what is after death? Who are we to say what it is and isn't? And I think that's crazy when people say that and they're like, oh, time travel is this and there's no other way time travel would be something else, or ghosts are this and there's no way it would be something else, demons and angels and whatever, or even like cryptids. They're like, oh, there's no way that cryptids could exist because XYZ. And I'm like, how do we know? Like, how do you know? Like, we're just stupid little meat sacks. Like, are we some of the more intelligent meat sacks? Yeah, but like, we're just humans. So who are we to say what is and isn't without actual scientific research and fact? So it's crazy to me when people are like, oh, life after death is this for sure. And I'm like, you don't know that. If you want to believe something, if you want to have faith in something, go for it. But like, you can't just say as fact a belief or faith in something. That's not fact. That's what faith is. Faith is having the trust in something that doesn't have fact. and isn't something tangible and real. That's what faith is all about. So I don't think that there's life after death. I don't think there is anything after death. I do think it is just a void. I think it is not even a void. You just cease to exist. I think it's as simple as that, because if that's how it is for animals, and that's what a lot of humans deem as what happens to animals, then what makes us any more special than animals? Like, that's just crazy to me, because yes, we're animals as well, but like, we are on a different mental plane as them, right? But like, we're not more special than animals. So why do we get a special place to go to in my brain? I'm like, that sounds pompous to me. That sounds entitled to me, where I'm like, at the end of the day, in death, we're all equal. We're all, like, there's another great quote I like too, where it's like, at the end of the game, the king and the pawn go into the same box. So same thing in life. It's like, if me and the richest man in the world, at the end of the day, in death, we're the same. We go into the same box at the end of the game. Same thing with animals. We might be the king, they might be the pawn, or vice versa. We all go into the same box, right? The box of earth, if you will. So I just think life after death is, I think, again, if you want to believe in that and have faith in that, that's fantastic. If that helps you, or if that's something that you are interested in or aspire to hopefully have happen one day, that's fantastic. I can comfortably say that I am more than fine, like, at the end of the day, just ceasing to exist. And that's perfectly fine for me, because it also ties into the idea and notion of like life having an innate purpose. So in philosophy, I'm going to go down a really deep, like, philosophical rabbit hole now. In philosophy, there's like nihilism, and nihilists, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but nihilists, they believe that there is no purpose. And like, because there's no purpose for humans, there's no reason to even search for a purpose. It's pointless to search for a purpose in life, and that we're all just existing to exist. And like, it's almost in a negative aspect, I would say. It is kind of negative. And then existentialists, I always forget about one of them. Hold on. Existentialists believe that there is no purpose, but it's up to us as humans to just discern our own purpose for living. There isn't just one reason for us to be on Earth, one reason for us to be existing. It's up to us as individuals to find something to live for. And that's honestly what I really like. So yeah, it says, because life is meaningless, individuals must create their own subjective purpose through free will and responsibility. So I really like that. That's what I kind of subscribe to, right? It's like, I don't think that there is a purpose for us to be here. I think we're just creatures on Earth. And so it's up to us to find what gives us purpose, to wake up every day. What gives us reason to keep improving or just keep breathing, right? And some days, some months, some years, you might not know what that purpose is. But I think it is important to look forward into the future in that sense, where it's like, you don't know what's going to come around the corner tomorrow. Like, your purpose could show up tomorrow. So that's, to me, a reason enough to keep going. Is like, I might have a purpose today, but that purpose could be gone tomorrow. But then who's to say in 3 months another purpose doesn't walk through my door, and then I go, oh, cool. And that could be a person, that could be a hobby, that could be a passion, that could be just anything, really. It could just be the way that the trees look when the sunlight filters through the leaves. Like, that's been my purpose in life, honestly, at some points in my life where I don't have anything else that gives me hope or like passion. But then when I see nature, sometimes I'm just in such awe. Like, I'm like, I have to wake up tomorrow to see this again. So absurdism is another train of thought in philosophy that argues trying to create meaning in life is futile, and one should instead embrace the absurdity by living defiantly in spite of it. So it's kind of like two ends of the spectrum. And then existentialism, to me, is kind of in the middle, where nihilists think that there is no purpose in life, and Let me see if I can find a exact. Okay, so nihilism is there's no meaning in life, so nothing matters. Absurdism is that there is no meaning in life, but we should still live like defiantly in spite of it. So like we should just fucking live, which is still cool, is still great. But it's not saying like, hey, you have a purpose or you can deem your own purpose. It's just like, hey, just fucking exist, I guess. And then like you're just embracing that. You're laughing in the face of the void of nothing, right? And then existentialism is kind of in the middle where it's like you create your own meaning for life. And I think that's fantastic. That's what I really like. And that's kind of what I've just done throughout my life. And it's like, you have to find that purpose for yourself, you know? So yeah, those kind of ideologies of philosophy, those ways of thinking really do align with death and mortality and how you might not have a purpose, or you might be searching for your purpose, or you might not think there is a purpose at all. And because of that, it does tie into the idea of, at the end of the day, we're all going to die. We're all going to cease to exist. And so it's up to you how you're going to fill these moments with your sense of purpose or whatever, right? And your beliefs, or how you're going to go about day by day. And I don't know. I just, my mentality of mortality has really shifted a lot over the years. And I'm really happy with where I'm at now with it, because again, it used to really consume me, it used to plague me literally. And I'm glad I'm at a point now where I'm like, no, man, death is chill. Like death is inevitable. It's something that we all are trying to run from constantly. And you can't run. So you just have to embrace it and live every day to your fullest. Does that mean you have to work your fucking ass off every day? Absolutely not. Does that mean you have to get like mad at yourself or hard on yourself when you have a lazy day? No, not by any means. It's important to have those lazy days, because I think that's also something I've accepted over like getting older is like, I used to feel really guilty and really hard on myself on my days off from work, because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to do all these things. And like, how dare I relax on my day off? Like, life is too short. I need to catch up on these chores. I need to go out and do things or whatever it is. And it's like, yeah, dude, life is too short to constantly be stressing out over those things. And I know it's not that simple to just have that off switch, but in the same token that life is too short and you should go out and explore, you should go out and see things, you should go out and learn a new skill or pick up a new hobby or go see a play or a movie or a musical or go make new friends. You also should focus on your household chores, take care of your responsibilities, pay your bills, get your car's oil changed. But you also, because you're a human and there's only so much that we can take physically, emotionally, mentally. If your body's telling you, hey man, I need to just play a video game all day, or I need to lay in bed for a couple hours, listen to your body. Because, and I'm going to look up another fucking like quote now, because I was reading the book, The Alchemist. I'm in the middle of reading the Alchemist right now. So let me see if I can find this while I'm talking. If I can even type and talk and think. You have to listen to your body, because you're going to be stuck with this body for the rest of your life. You have to learn how to listen to your intuition, to your gut feeling, your emotions, your thoughts, your needs, and your wants, right? And it's all about learning to juggle and balance all of the spinning plates we have all at the same time. So because of that, it's important, it's as important as it is to focus on your responsibilities and focus on touching grass. It's also so important to focus on repairing and the R&R, right? The recreation, the relaxing, like you have to recoup yourself. And you have to listen to yourself when you need that. And you can't just beat yourself up if you're having a lazy day. So that's something I've gotten much better at. So the quote from The Alchemist says, you will never be able to escape your heart. So it's better to listen to what it has to say. And that's like, it's pretty self-explanatory. That's pretty easy. But it is like, let's see what this one. So tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams. So it's all about like this whole chapter that they're talking about, like listening to your heart, is really about listening to your emotions and your fears and your feelings. And that the more you try to run away from them, the more you try to shove that in a box and close the door and don't listen to it, the more you're going to not achieve your dreams, the more you're not going to achieve what you want in life, the more you're going to actually end up more fearful and have more pain and suffering than if you were to just embrace the pain and suffering of a heart instead. And so you have to learn to listen to yourself, your brain, your heart, whatever it is, so that way you can better embrace change, embrace the suffering, so it's less painful. Like it's life is still going to be painful, but it's important to listen to it, because that way. And I'm getting really therapeutic here. What the fuck is going on? This is supposed to be a funny, silly goober podcast, and I'm sitting here talking about the therapy shit and philosophy. God damn it. Why does this have to be my special interest right now? Jesus Christ, I'm a nerd. Anyways, yeah, it's just important to like listen to your heart and your feelings, and that avoiding it and shoving it in a box will get you nowhere in life, and it won't let you achieve your dreams and what you really want, and that you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So, last but not least, I found a new therapist. He is fantastic. In last episode, I believe I talked about how I broke up with my other therapist, not my first one. She wasn't my first therapist. She was my first, this like recent therapy journey. I broke up with her. She was great for somebody. Like she's a lovely woman. She just wasn't for me. Like she just wasn't giving me what I needed out of therapy, and that's okay. So if you go to therapy and you're like, this isn't really jiving, like I'm not feeling like I'm getting a lot out of this, I would recommend shopping around for a therapist. And as draining as that sounds, I promise you it'll be worth it. I promise you it'll be so worth it if you shop around and find someone who matches you on a better level. Because for like 6 sessions or so, I was like, okay, well, maybe the next one will be better. And like, maybe she'll like dive into something further then, because like maybe she just doesn't know me well enough yet. And then I'm like, okay, it's been like 7 weeks. I think it's just not working. I just think this is not for me. So I found a new therapist, and he's fantastic. He really, in 2 sessions, he asks me way more questions than she ever asked me. And like, I don't want to like compare in like a mean way, but like just because of the different styles that, you know, are compatible for different people. He asked me a bunch of questions already. He's really like tried to learn the way I think, but also question the way I think to help me like dissect my brain. And he's really psychoanalytic. And so I love that. I want someone to like ask me philosophical questions and like ask me about my beliefs of something, and like help me really get to the root of an issue I'm dealing with or whatever. Cause I want to know how my brain works. I want to know how I tick, right? Because it's just going to help me in the future just do it for myself on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's such a fun, cool, interesting thing. And I know that sounds so nerdy and stupid, but like, I'm just so excited. I don't know. It's just so cool. I like psychology a lot. And like, I think this is the first time I've really been super interested in my own brain, because I've always loved learning about other people and like how their brains work. And this is the first time in my life I've been this excited for me on so many levels. And so I'm just really happy for that. But yeah, in therapy, something kind of going into like the like philosophical aspect of it, something that I've had issues with, honestly. So in my personal life with family and friends, and then also my previous therapist, I've encountered, this is going to sound so pompous, and I don't mean it to at all. It's just what has happened. I've like struggled with being called wise and emotionally intelligent by others. You might be like, hey, that's a good thing, right? It obviously it is. It is. I'm not saying like, oh my God, like I got called wise and emotionally intelligent and it's just so hard to deal with. I just don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I know I'm emotionally intelligent. I know I'm emotionally mature. I don't know. I don't really know what makes someone wise, to be honest, because like I do on a surface level and like a definition wise. I'm not saying like, oh, I don't know what that means. Like, I know what it means, but I haven't met someone and gone like, wow, they're really wise. But I have lived a lot of fucking lives in my 27 years here, and yeah, I've learned a lot of lessons, and so probably more lessons than most 27-year-olds have learned. And even my like a lot of my older relatives are like, hey man, you're really like old up in there. Like you've made so many like life choices, and like good ones and bad ones and whatever. And you've learned and you've navigated and you've come out so strong, and you're just so confident. And like, I'm a go-getter, apparently, according to them. So anyways, as much as that's a good thing, and I feel very like awestruck, I guess, when I get told that from my relatives and friends, I'm like, I don't know how to accept this compliment, but like, thank you so much, because I know it's a really like, it's very meaningful to me. I'm about to like tear up. Oof. It's very meaningful to me. That's the biggest, like highest praise I could ever imagine to accept. Like it's so hard for me to accept compliments, but like, that's a big one. So it's a really great thing. But the huge downside of it is like, who do I go to? You know, like sometimes I feel like if people that I deem as wise or like more responsible than me, or who have lived longer than me, if they're telling me oftentimes like, oh, hey, like you're wise, you're emotionally intelligent, you're better than us at XYZ, or like when I was your age, I didn't blah, blah, blah. I'm like, who do I turn to then for like advice? And like, even my last therapist I just had, every time I would talk about like an issue I was having or whatever, or like whatever it was, she would be like, oh, like, yeah, you're really wise. You're really like emotionally intelligent. And she's like, wow, that's exactly what I was going to say. And, oh, you should be a therapist. And I'm like, okay, girl, like, okay, thank you so much. But like, how do I fix this? Like, how do I work through this mentally? How do I learn to navigate these emotions and feelings and thoughts? Like, you're just saying, hey, you're doing a good job already, when I'm clearly not doing a good job already because it's affecting me. So what do I do? Right. So that's an issue I've had in the past. And I mean, I still was dealing with it with the last therapist, but I'm like, as nice as that is to hear, like, I already know that because I've been told that a lot. And like, I am usually able to navigate my own emotions pretty well. Like I still struggle for sure, because that's just human nature. That's just being a human. And as you get older, your brain's going to change and your feelings are going to change. You're going to encounter different scenarios that like you don't know how to navigate. And as much as I can logically go through that, and as much as I know the logic behind something of the whys and how I should do something, that doesn't affect the fact that I'm feeling something else, or that I'm struggling with my feelings about something. So then who do I turn to, you know? And so that's why I'm really glad I have this new therapist, because he doesn't say that to me. Like, and not that I am hoping he does or doesn't, but like, he actually gives me stuff to think about. He actually gives me the tools that I need and like the homework that I need to better navigate these things. And so that's just something that I've dealt with like family and therapy and stuff. And so I just, oh my goodness, I don't know. But yeah, that's my thoughts on mortality. Let me know in the comments below what you think about mortality. And in the good old Grim Reaper, this is his sickle, by the way. If you're not watching, I have my finger up like a little pirate hook. This is a sickle, a scythe. That's what it's called, a scythe. This is his scythe. He's just a cute little guy. So that's my thoughts on that. That's my thoughts on therapy. Highly recommend therapy, again, for anyone who wants to go down that road. I think it's worth it. It's helped me out so fucking much. It's helped me out exponentially, more than I can even say, throughout the many, many years of me being in therapy with different therapists. It's always been worth it. Even the last lady I had, it was still worth it for me, because it got me to where I am now, where I know what type of therapy I want, right? And like when I first started with her, I was like, oh, I haven't done therapy in 10 years. I don't know what type of therapy I want. And so she was a great like example of how I can learn what type of therapy I want. So, all right. Flavors of the week. I still don't have another name for that. That's what it's going to be. We are still Baskin Robbins. We are still 31 flavors. So a couple of the flavors of this week is the songs I've been listening to recently. I've been really getting into like, I guess like house music, tech house music. I don't know the different genres of EDM. I like have started to listen to it again recently because like I'm going to be going to raves soon with my friends and I've never been to a rave. It sounds like a lot of fun, but I'm also kind of scared because I never imagined myself, like little guy me going to a rave, but like it kind of sounds like fun now. And so I've been listening to EDM music a little bit more. I don't know any of the genres at all. I know I like music. One song that I've been really like jamming to is, I think it's called Function or The Function. Can't remember, by Shipwreck. That's a fun one. That's a fun, I'll like dance around my house, dance around my room, like just stunting on them, you know? And another song, I'm trying to think, what other songs have I listening to? Oh my God. I recently got reminded that I love the B-52s, and you might be like, hey, what does that mean that you got reminded that you love something? I love too many things that oftentimes I'll go through the phases as a Gemini with ADHD. I'll go through the phases of like different interests, and oh my God, the B-52s, I love them. I am such a stupid, like, I'm such a generic, like basic ass bitch. I love Rock Lobster. That song is a long song, and as it should be. It's the perfect length. It is so good. It is so fun. Love that song. So Rock Lobster by the B-52s, The Function by Shipwreck, and then I've been listening to a lot of Green Day recently, just like a lot of like Green Day radio. I've been listening to Paramore a lot recently. So I've been practicing singing All I Wanted by Paramore. I feel like I can hit those notes. I'm getting close. Still a little scared to do it in like public and stuff, but whatever. Something I've been reading or listening to recently. So I've been reading The Alchemist. It's the one with the I, not the Y for Alchemist. Really good book, by the way. Really recommend it. It's kind of short. It's not too long. Really good. Like it makes you, I don't know. It makes you think, and it makes you feel very gentle on yourself, if that makes sense. Like it makes you think about life through the lens of like, hey, listen to yourself, love the world around you, and like chase your dreams. And it's just really gentle. It feels very warm and wholesome. So highly recommend it. There's an audiobook, I think, on Spotify for it. I've been reading it though on like Kindle. And then I've been listening to the Daily Stoic. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it's an audiobook where there's a passage of Stoicism, which is a form of philosophy, branch of philosophy. There's a little passage every day for the entire year. So there's 366 passages. And is this a leap year? I don't think this is a leap year. No, it's not a leap year. It's not a leap year because it's now March. I'm so stupid. It's not a leap year. God damn it. But yeah, there's 366 passages of Stoicism, and highly recommend that too. That's also on Spotify, audiobook on there. They're like 1 to 2 minute passages, and it's just nice to listen to in the morning. When I'm getting ready, I'll be like, cool, what's my little Stoicism for the day? What's my little thing to like have in my mental, right? So that's been fun. And I've also been watching so much Mark again. I say again, I listen to him and watch him every day for the past like 4 years. So, but I've been just consuming Mark 24/7, and like, that's nuts, but it makes me really happy, and it helps me distract from less happier things in life. And it's just a really good escape. I've also been playing a game recently, which is huge news for me. And you might be like, hey, you're a streamer too. How is that a huge thing? I have been struggling finding a game that I actually enjoy playing recently. I've been kind of like on the outs with gaming, and I picked up Fields of Mistria again the other day, and I've been loving that. It's just a little like farming sim. It's like a Harvest Moon game. or like a Rune Factory game. It's kind of like that. It's super cute, super fun. It came out a couple years ago, and it's maybe like last year. It's not finished yet, but it's going to be completely finished this year. They're coming out with their final update for the game, and they've had like a roadmap this whole time. Really cute game if you like farming sims or like dating sims and stuff like that. I'm currently juggling 5 different people that I'm like, I don't know. I know who I want to marry. It's March, but whatever. But I'm also juggling like 5 other people, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I want to keep them, as an option, but like, I know who I want to marry. So kind of fucked up if you think about it, but it's a little game. It's a little silly game. So I've been having fun with that. Highly recommend those. The Daily Stoic, or like the Daily Stoicism stuff, audiobook, The Alchemist, Fields of Mistria, watching Markiplier. I will always plug Markiplier. Not that he needs a plug, but like, I will always do it. I am a walking sponsor, walking billboard for Mark and everything that he does. Oh, I also bought Iron Lung merch. Oh my God, I'm so pumped for that. I'm just all Mark all the time. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the pod. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, if you will, if you want to. I won't force you. I'm not your mom. I might be your dad, but I'm not your mom. But yeah, let me know if there's anything I can improve upon, anything that you want to see in future episodes. Let me know if you have any like YouTube video ideas, recommendations. I have a couple I'm brewing in here for like actual YouTube videos that I want to do. But if you have anything that you might want to see me do for like a legit YouTube video, let me know. And I really appreciate any suggestions. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye. Goodbye.